Chris Sims, former NFL quarterback, on the difference between the Browns offense with Jameis Winston and what he saw with Deshaun Watson.
I told you I watched that Browns-Ravens game on film right closely on Tuesday. Wow. Like, you talk about refreshing, like watching that offense. I mean, what would the Browns be if they had put Jameis Winston in 3 or 4 weeks ago? What would they be? They have an all-star defense. It's still one of the best in football. Their offense, their attack, their talent is good enough to be better than where they are if Jameis Winston was the starting quarterback. The offense looked totally different, which just tells you that Deshaun Watson was holding them back in every way possible. Simple plays, nothing imaginative or creative. They didn't trust him, I don't think, to see throws down the football field or do anything like that. The offense was wide open with Jameis Winston, let alone he's just a better thrower and a better decision maker than Deshaun Watson. He played really good last week.
And G. Bush, you and I both defended Watson. And the trade, I get it. I get the remade offense. It didn't work. And I can't argue with anything that Chris Sims just said. I agree with him wholeheartedly.
Man, there was, last week was the first week in which you watched the Cleveland Browns offense and you see the vertical passing attack. You start to see some of the semblances of what they were when Joe Flacco played. You started to see some of the anticipatory throws. We talked to on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show, we have Sean King on, who breaks it down in film breakdown. And he called me personally when I was sick last week. He said, listen, G. Bush, big fella, hey, don't limit Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, he can throw the football. Mind you, guys out there, Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 yards in this league. He's thrown for 4,000 multiple times, other times than 5,000 in this league. And what he told me is, look, when you have a guy coming out of Florida State and Jimbo Fisher's offense, which is a pro-style offense where you're doing checks at the line of scrimmage, you're using to throw the ball, and they're running play action. He told me Jameis Winston has always been just a better natural thrower of the football just by the preparation that Jameis Winston had. Let's not forget, Jameis Winston is a former number 1 overall pick in this league. Let's not forget that he won the Heisman Trophy, national titles, right? When you look at what his system was in Florida State, it's much more dialed and much more connected to what is more, what the Cleveland Browns do best, which is the run action, the play action, and getting guys open. And so, in college, you had much more of Deshaun Watson doing the RPO, one read type stuff. Now, don't get it twisted. Deshaun, did that at the highest level. He won a national championship and was also a great quarterback and did it really well at a high level with the Houston Texans. But the main thing that I'm seeing mostly in what this is, it's the anticipation. When you watch that all 22, he's throwing the ball before guys get out of their breaks. He's anticipating different things. He's reading coverages. Now, the thing about Jameis Winston is he gets a knock for throwing interceptions. But I'll tell you this. We saw the offense with Deshaun Watson, and it was check down Charlie. It was dink and dunk, and he wasn't seeing guys open. He was not seeing the field well. He was not throwing the ball or pushing the ball downfield. And there were 4 or 5 throws that Jameis Winston made against the Baltimore Ravens that we have not seen Deshaun Watson make while he's been here the whole time. So when you look at it, the anticipation, some of the touches on the football, 2 throws to David Njoku right on the money. Not only that, when you got a guy offensively that he knows and your receivers know that if I run my routes strong, if I run my routes, he's going to find me. Look at the spread of the football. Look at it from the Jerry Jeudy to getting receptions to now all of a sudden Cedric Tillman looks like he's a prospect. David Njoku, Elijah Moore looked really good last week. And it's starting to see some of those same things that we saw with Flacco, where all of a sudden some of these guys are flashing now and believing in it. And the thing that, and to put a cherry on top of the sundae, I think one of the things that you'll see with Jameis Winston is this. He's always been a solid leader of men. People may laugh and joke at some of the things he says, but this guy he motivates people. He's a dude that holds people accountable. He's going to be a voice in that huddle, and he gets people to play hard. It's no coincidence this offensive line all of a sudden look like they're competent and they can run the football, and they weren't giving up pressures. Balls coming out on time. Receivers believe that they can catch the football and that they're going to get the ball if they're open. And I'm just going to say this. We talked about the Deshaun Watson, that last half. against last year against the Baltimore Ravens. Oh, but Jameis Winston put on a show, and he gave you a comeback win. So I want to see if he put it together 2 weeks in a row. We'll see. We might have a little something here brewing if he could come out here this week and get it done.
Yeah, I'm with you. And it just looked different. You talk about anticipatory throws. Confident. He was confident in what he was seeing, and he had conviction. I see this. I know it's there. I'm going to throw it. And that was what's been missing, in my opinion.